Good afternoon, I'm Susan McCord. Thanks for tuning into DearSybersue. Today's topic is the first steps to healing after a breakup. When you're going through the end of a relationship, it is one of life's hardest transitions. You are trying to cope with the stress your body's going through. Your heart is in pieces. You don't even feel like leaving your home. You just want to curl up in your bed under the covers and just come back in another 6 months. This is such a difficult time for everybody because it doesn't matter if you were the one who left the relationship or they were the one who ended things. You're still harboring love for this person. You still have feelings for them. It doesn't just dissipate overnight because your relationship broke up. Take some time to pine and grieve for your partner because that is something you need to do. You have to feel the emotions that are running through you. If you just push them to the side, they're going to rear their head another day anyway. So take the time to cry, to reminisce, whatever you have to do. When you're in your home, you've got memories, you've got so many things that are coming into your mind that remind you of them. And this is why people want to sort of stay home, because they want to have that connection to that partner they were with. But that is the problem. That is what keeps a lot of people stuck. They don't remove certain objects from the home that remind them of each other. They sit there and look at old photos, or they go back on maybe some texts on their phone and try to make sense. How did this happen? Why are we at this place? You have to understand first and foremost, is it them that you're missing? Or is it the fact that your ego is maybe a little bit hurt, or you're just trying to find out, why they left you? Because that's also something that we hold on to when we feel insecure because somebody didn't want to be with us. That is one of the things that a lot of people have a hard time getting over. Rejection is one of the worst things because it takes your self-esteem and your self-worth and just tumbles it all upside down. You're sitting there saying, well, I was a confident person. Where am I? How do I come back to who I am or who I was? Put together a strict no contact rule. If you're following them on anything, any social media, or they're even texting you to see if you're okay, stop texting them, stop having interaction with them, because this will keep you stuck way longer, because there's always a little bit of hope that maybe they'll change their mind. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and the least time you think about them, see anything that reminds you of them, the sooner you'll start to feel a little bit better. It's not going to happen overnight. You put a lot of time and energy into loving this person. It shouldn't end that quickly because you had committed to this person. There's always going to be heartbreak and memories, and it's going to last for a while. But the more you remove from your place that reminds you of them, the sooner you will start thinking about them a little bit less each day. And that's all you can ask of yourself in the first couple of weeks or first month. The next step is to get outside as often as you can. If your friend says, come on, let's go for a walk, don't say no. Say, okay, but bear with me. I might not be in my best form. Doesn't matter. As long as you let people know that, you're in this headspace, they'll understand. I also suggest that if you're really stuck and you're been having a bit of a really, depression and all sorts of things, please talk to a counselor, because they will help you more than anybody else can, because they're neutral and they're professional. They know what to look for. They know what tools to give you to help you through this. As the weeks go by, allow yourself time to grieve every day. Take the time to feel all the emotions. Don't stifle them. Get yourself into a fitness regime. Make sure that anything in your home that is causing you more grief, alter it a little bit. Change your space. Make it yours. Don't make it the way it used to be when you were with your partner. Even if you didn't live with them, you're still going to have a lot of reminders in your home. Sometimes when we go through a breakup, we don't really know what happened. We have no idea why we broke up. It's always good to write out a pros and cons list of your relationship and ask your friends, what did you notice? Did you see anything that I maybe missed here? Did you think that we were a good match? If not, what did you see? Sometimes just having a bit more clarity about this will really help you start to at least comprehend why you're not together anymore. Because that's one of the biggest problems. People don't really look closely and have the clarity of what was missing in their relationship. Is it loneliness you're feeling? What is the biggest emotion that you're dealing with right now? What was not working in our relationship? What things did I have to compromise on? Because sometimes we don't realize that we're giving a lot more in the partnership than we realize. And it's not reciprocated and it's lopsided. And if this is the case in your situation, this lopsidedness won't necessarily be easy to see until you step away from it. Because when you're living it, you don't notice it as much because it's become a familiar way of living. Avoid rebound romance. This is something people do way too often when they're not over a breakup. And this usually doesn't end well. And it makes you feel even worse sometimes because it can make you miss your ex more, especially during intimate moments. Because when you're with somebody for a certain amount of time, you have a nice safe place to fall with them. You understand their needs and desires. And so that feels really good when you're with somebody that you've been with for a long time. When somebody is new, you're not going to get that same feeling. The busier your life is, the less time you'll have to pine for them because you're preoccupied with whatever you're doing. And that will eventually lead you to getting over them because there's less and less time spent and energy spent thinking about them. It's important to remember that time does heal, but initially a breakup can feel so permanent. The quicker that you can move on and own your part in maybe what happened in the breakup and say to yourself, okay, I have a bit more clarity now. I can sort of see where we were having issues. I can see why we're not really a great match. You will then be able to let your heart go a little bit. You won't be so stuck on trying to understand why you feel so rejected. And just remember that every relationship experience teaches you something. And there's a lot of valuable lessons that come with this. So take the time to really look back at what went on, what did you learn, what you're going to do differently moving forward. Thank you so much for tuning in to DearSybersue today. Please leave any questions or comments under the video. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you did so. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.